Hi, I'm Doug Fields, and I want to thank you for listening to this audio training from Youth Leader Training on the Go. There is no one profile of the perfect youth worker. You may have some stereotypes of what a great youth worker looks like. This fictional person is probably young, has tons of free time, listens to a lot of cool music, knows everything about the Bible, drives an appealing car, and has an outgoing and funny personality. If this was the profile of a great youth worker, I could never qualify, and chances are neither could you. I'm not sure that person even exists. While there is no one personality type that makes a great youth worker, we can identify some essential qualities that all successful youth workers share. These qualities go beyond personality because they can be attained by anyone. I've got 3 that I want to share with you. Number 1, an effective youth worker loves God. This is foundational. This person isn't perfect, but is growing in their spiritual journey, and a love for God is evident in their life. When I suggest that this is the foremost quality of a great youth worker, you might say, well, duh, of course I should love God. However, I've been in youth ministry a long time and have come to realize that a love for God is often overlooked. Many volunteers become so overwhelmed with all the opportunities to minister to others that they quickly become so busy doing the work of God that they miss out on loving God themselves. Great youth workers aren't unapproachable spiritual giants. They experience the normal highs and lows that all Christians have. However, they are growing spiritually. They love God, and their passion for God is obvious. Effective youth ministry starts with loving God. Do you love God? If so, you are a candidate for being a great youth worker. Number 2, an effective volunteer youth worker is smart. A lot of times when I tell volunteers this, they roll their eyes and think back to their last report card and say, okay, I'm out. I can never be a great youth worker. But when I refer to smart, I'm suggesting 3 things. 1 is a basic understanding of the Christian faith. 2, the ability to investigate truth. And 3, the confidence to say these words, I don't know. See, smart doesn't mean that you're a Bible scholar, but a great youth worker understands the basics of the gospel message and can explain some of God's truth to a student when the time is right. I've heard it said, to be successful in life, you only need to know 3 things. You need to know what you do know, you need to know what you don't know, and you need to know where to go to get the answers about what you don't know. I like that. Most people don't achieve success because they don't have an accurate picture of what they don't know, and they lack the courage to admit their weaknesses. This inability keeps them from being smart. One of the great joys of working with teenagers is that they ask some very intelligent questions. Many of these questions are really deep and they don't have easy answers. If teenagers are reading the Bible, they'll inquire about difficult passages and tough theological questions. And the good news is that great youth workers don't need to have all the right answers. I love the Apostle Paul's ministry approach from 1 Corinthians chapter 2 when he said, when I came to you, I did not come with eloquence or superior wisdom as I proclaimed to you the testimony about God. I came to you in weakness and fear and with much trembling. My message and my preaching were not with wise and persuasive words, but with a demonstration of the Spirit's power. I love those verses. I believe good youth ministry isn't done with eloquence or superior wisdom or persuasive words. These things make the youth worker look good rather than God looking good. Youth workers who are smart have the humility to admit when they don't know all the answers. Sometimes the smartest thing to say is, great question, I don't know, but I'm happy to help you pursue an answer. Do you understand the basics of the faith? Can you admit that you don't know everything? Do you know where to go to get some answers and provide some help? If so, you are a candidate for being a great youth worker. Number 3, an effective volunteer youth worker is committed to lasting relationships. Whether you like it or not, we live in an age that demands instant results. Everything happens fast. Teenagers learn that any human problem can be solved within a 30-minute sitcom time slot. But in our fast-paced world, a great youth worker is set apart when he or she slows down and makes a commitment to last. Why? Well, because relationships take time. There's no getting around that. Youth workers who take the time to develop spiritual friendships with teenagers become great youth workers. This type of youth worker invests time and carefully forges bonds of friendship that last. Great youth workers don't have several deep friendships with teenagers. They have one or two or a few. The truth is, relational youth ministry doesn't yield instant results. It takes consistency over an extended period of time to make an impact in a teenager's life. You can become a good youth worker in a short amount of time, but it takes a long-term consistency to become a great youth worker. Are you committed to being patient and taking the time to building lasting relationships with teenagers? If so, you are a candidate for being a great youth worker. Thanks again for taking the time to listen and learn and have a desire to be a great youth worker. And thank you for loving God and pointing students toward a life-changing relationship with Jesus. Thanks for doing what you do.